morning, everyone, and welcome back to stage. Like this? Better? Okay. Welcome back to day 2 of NapulETH. Hope you had a fantastic time yesterday. Hope you had enjoyed the initial event, side event as well, and you didn't make it too late yesterday evening. And we are super excited this morning in this beautiful church to just get started talking about blockchain and AI. My name is Kat, and I will be your host for this morning. And we'll get started straight away with our guest speaker. Our first talks really explores one of the biggest hidden costs in tech today, which is the environmental and operational impact of AI and data dependency. So to lead this talk is going to be Andrea Amenta, Operation Manager at DigNow. Welcome.
Thank you. Hello, everybody. So let's start with a question. Who of you has used any AI generative tool in the last days? How many of you know the data that AI is using is coming from? Do you know if this data is reliable or not? Nobody. Yeah. That's why we have a trust problem in AI. And today I'm going to explain to you why we have this trust problem. Everyone is using AI today, a lot of tools, ChatGPT, Gemini, Llama, a lot of tools are already in the market, but nobody knows the hidden cost behind them. And today I'm going to explain you why. Hello everybody. Yeah, thank you for being here, and thanks DigNow Naples to host me. I'm Andrea Amenta. I am originally from Italy as well, but I've been living in Barcelona in the last 10 years. And I'm here to introduce you this topic, okay, that is something that really touched me. The last 10 years I've been working, I've been working in tech, from data management to software development, and I've been managing projects all over the world. And in the last years, I've been into tech, okay, but more innovative tech like AI and blockchain. And I'm always been attracted by the intersection between AI and blockchain. That's why I joined DigNow, that is a small startup that is actually building a data infrastructure for AI, a verified one using blockchain and AI. But let's see the trust problem. As I mentioned before, we have a trust problem in AI. Okay, why we have this trust problem? First, some numbers, okay? Some research I've been doing in the last years. First of all, we have an analysis from Gartner that is saying that 85% of AI projects is not delivering ROI. What does it mean? ROI is return of investment. So 85% of projects doesn't deliver anything. So they are going to fail. Another shocking analysis is from McKinsey that is giving us 22% of projects don't give any value to anybody. It means that 1 every 5 projects is going to fail. And another analysis that is shocking as well is that data scientists, some people that are the smartest in the world, are actually wasting 80% of time in data analytics, data cleaning, and data verification, while they can do something else, like innovate, like create something new. But instead, they are just wasting their time. The trust problem brings us to 3 hidden costs that are related to AI. Okay? The first one is efficiency. The efficiency cost means we are using a lot of computation to run AI servers, to run computation, and so on. And this efficiency cost is really impacting in our world. As well, the economic waste, because we are not talking about monopoly money, okay? We are always talking about dollars, crypto, whatever you want to mean economic value. But as well, we will see that trillions are wasted every year for AI that is not efficient. And as well, the environmental impact, that is something that almost nobody is talking about, because people are always pushing for money, for performances and so on. But the environmental impact of this technology is high impacting. But let's dive into these three hidden costs. Sorry, I'm not very good with this, but the first one, the efficiency drain. As I mentioned before, we have a problem with computation. We are using computation for running AI and so on. But let's deep dive on it. An analysis from Google Cloud, so one of the biggest data provider in the world, is saying that from 15 to 20% of data all around the world is wasted. So we are using this data that is not useful at all. And the AI processing is based on this data. So we are processing data and data and data, but it's useless. So we are wasting all this AI computation and all this data. As well, Google Cloud says that software engineers are actually using 2.3 hours of their time to clean the data and create verification systems. That means that the 30% of their time is wasted using verification and cleaning data. As well, something impactful, we know ChatGPT that is for end users, okay? But as well, there are AI technologies that are for businesses. That could be like fraud detection or supply chain management and so on. So in these systems, the AI responses to the verification layers that are redundant are from 12 to 18 seconds. It means if you detect a fraud, you need to wait 18 seconds to get a response from who is the guy that stole you the money. So, as you can imagine, it's not that wonderful, you know. Next one, let's deep dive on the economic cost. We have a big analysis from IBM, that is one of the biggest tech company in the world, okay, that is saying that the AI cost for the businesses on average is 12.9 million per year. That means that on average, so we are not talking only about Fortune 500 companies, big corporation. We are talking about average. This average means that in the mid businesses, this 12.9 million annual cost are actually their entire budget. So all this money that could be invested in something else are actually used on AI. The wasted value is that $3.1 trillion that is actually wasted because of redundant data, because of data verification, and so on. This 3.1 trillion, we are talking about trillions, not billions, are, just for make some example, enough to end the hunger in the world 2 times, or give as a gift an iPhone to every person in the planet, or funding the NASA budget for 130 years. So it's actually a big impact on money. And as well, another analysis from IBM say that 40 to 50% of the budget is spent in data analytics. So all this budget and all this money are spent in data analytics that is needed to clean the data that is connected to AI. But now let's go to the environmental cost of this AI. Okay, that is something that really touched me. Okay, first of all, let's understand how much energy you are wasting for AI. It is estimated that from 2 to 5% of the global electricity all around the world is used to power AI. This is a data from 2024, but just to make you, to give you a bit of context, this amount of energy is around 500,000 to 1,250,000 gigawatt hour per year. And this amount could be connected to countries, okay? We always talk about Bitcoin, electricity, waste, and so on, but as well, AI is consuming a lot. For example, to make a comparison, we see that AI wastes the same amount of energy that is using Russia to power their entire country all around the year. And in 2030, if we continue in this way, without efficiency checking, without control of the data, it is projected that the global electricity that the AI will consume will be the 10% of the global electricity all around the world. Another impact on data is related to the emissions, okay? So we have the emissions, first of all, for the training, okay? I put an example of GPT-4, that is a very known AI generated tool. GPT-4, for every training, consumes 15,000 tons of CO2. And I don't know if you know, but yeah, GPT-4 is trained several times per year. But as well, we need to consider the operations of GPT-4. And every day of using GPT-4, it is compared to running 100 cars every day, no stop, or 50 flights from New York to London, or powering and the consumption of 45 US homes per day. So that's something impactful. But we can see as well some graph that inefficient data of AI protocols and as well the running of AI is estimated to contribute to from 2 to 3% of global emissions all around the world. And that's comparable to the aviation industry. So the same amount that the global aviation industry is consuming right now is more or less the same as the inefficient data processing of AI. And from this, we can see, as we say before, that Google Cloud said that 20% of this energy and this AI computation is completely wasted. And that's what I call the vicious cycle, okay? We have problem with AI. We have a trust problem with AI, okay? We have inefficiency, we have redundancy, and so on. So what is happening? What I call the vicious cycle. Vicious cycle starts from bad data. Okay, the bad data is entering in the system, AI is hallucinating, we have problems because the data is not good. Bad data brings to distrust. It is, there is an analysis that 24% of directives are not data-driven. So they don't trust on the data that is provided by the data analytics teams or from AI. That leads to assign tasks to their people, to their colleagues about verification. So 62% of development time goes to API testing and verification. So we create layers and layers of verification because people don't trust their data. And at the end, this brings to a lot of resources that are wasted, of people, of energy, of computation, and as well of time. And the solution is here, okay? We are in Web3 blockchain Ethereum conference, so the solution is Web3. Why? I'm not going to talk about Bitcoin speculation, NFTs, and so on, because we know that the media are being very bad with blockchain and Web3 in general, because they are always associating blockchain with these bad things, okay? But we know that the reality is that blockchain could be used as a cryptographic consensus connected to mathematical trust. So we can have trust without institution, trust without people, trust with decentralized people. So that could be a solution, that the data that we input in our systems, on the systems that are all around the world, could be verified once with cryptographical hash graph, and could be stored and could be used by the AI systems all around the world. There is a study that we have a lot of economic opportunity, okay? First of all, I wanted to focus on an industry, supply chain industry. There is a research from McKinsey that if we verify blockchain data in supply chain, we can have a reduction of cost from 5 to 10 billions only in the supply chain business. But as well, if we connect again to AI, we see the AI market will hit 1.8 trillions by 2030. And if we verify the data, if we confirm this data, if we have data that is valuable, we can reduce up to 50% of this cost. This means 900 billion that could be used to, I don't know, solve something else in the world, innovate, cure the cancer, so something different and valuable that could be used instead of being wasted. And I foresee two futures for us and for everyone, okay? The future one is the status quo, okay? The status quo is where we are right now. So we continue as we are, we continue wasting, we continue with inefficiency, and we continue to waste trillions of money, we continue to pollute the planet. But there is another future that is possible, that is where we use blockchain to verify the data, and where we have efficiency all around the AI verification and the AI sources. So which future do you want? Of course, it's the second future, because everyone wants a world that is better. What you can do in your day-to-day life, okay? I don't know how many of you are working in software development, okay? But if you're working in any AI company or blockchain company and so on, also data-driven companies, always audit your AI systems, also question every redundancy that is in your processes, explore verified data solutions, and as well make efficiency requirements. So track KPIs, understand better the data that you're using, and so on. And as well, for different stakeholders, the solution can be used, first of all, for developers, because next time that you build something that is distrusted, it's nice to ask this question: is the data is coming that I'm using is trustworthy or not? And as well for investors is something good to understand, because the next unicorn will probably come from data verification systems and not from data that is bad. For executives as well, because you need to look at your return on investment. And as I mentioned before, most of the AI companies are actually failing. And for everyone, because it's something that is affecting everyone nowadays. And now I will introduce you DigNow, okay? That is the startup I'm working for. DigNow is actually a small crypto and AI startup, okay? We are creating a data infrastructure that combines both AI efficiency, a decentralized community of humans that is used for accuracy, and blockchain for permanence. So as I mentioned before, we use the blockchain to verify the data at the end. Just to make you understand how it works, okay, we collect data from many sources. It means it could be from databases, from web scraping, from all over the world. So wherever there is data, we can collect it. We first have AI assessment. So this data is evaluated by our AI engine. This AI engine give a score to this data to understand if it is valuable or not. If the data is not valuable, it will pass through a decentralized community of humans. Okay, we have a platform that is called Task Hub, where the people enter and will get rewards to validate and verify the data. And at the end, when the data is verified 100%, we store it in the blockchain with a cryptographic hash. And this data, once it's created and validated, is available through API to the people, to the companies, to the protocols that need it. In here, there is more or less the technical architecture. Okay, so as I mentioned before, we collect the data from wherever it could be, so from the internet, from the data providers, from the humans, and so on. There is the verification layer that the first step is the AI supervisor that assign a trust score. If the score is high, it's already saved in the smart storage. If it is low, there is the decentralized community of people that is verifying the data. And once the community is verifying the data and the score is high, it's stored again. And then this data through smart contract is stored in the blockchain and then delivered through API or MCP servers. We actually launched a pilot with a customer in the DeFi space, okay? And in just 2 months of operation, we processed and verified over 15,000 data points. Thanks to the AI verification layer and to the community of people, we have already 5,200 people that are verifying the data as well. We had a 99% of accuracy of the data that we provided to our customer. And as well, we saw that we saved 67% of time by reducing verification of the data from the customer that we are working with. How we are working, right now we are focusing on crypto projects, okay, because we know that Web3 needs trust. So we are verifying project data for crypto projects mainly at the moment, because as I mentioned before, we are quite small. So we are verifying data related to teams, to tokenomics, to all the data that you can imagine about crypto projects. But the idea is in the future to go through other markets, okay, that could be like financial data. Imagine like financial data that is verified once and could be accessed by all the brokers all around the world. Healthcare as well could be a great use case because you can imagine a patient that is going to a hospital and has already the data verified from that hospital and then can go all around the world to have the same data shared with everyone. And as well in the supply chain, because having verified data, for example, order tracking that is verified, could be verified and connected to everyone in the supply chain business. And now, yeah, if you want to know more, you can explore about DigNow, of course. So as I mentioned before, we are already 5,200 verifiers that are part of our decentralized community of humans that are verifying data. We grow more or less by 100 people every week, and we are verifying 1,000 data points per day already. So we are not building just a product, okay, but we are trying to build a movement, okay, where we have a decentralized community of people as well. And I don't know if I mentioned before, but these people will get rewarded with tokens. And now, yeah, as I mentioned before, we need to stop this revolution, okay? Because to compensate all the 3 hidden costs that we have, we need to make actions, okay? So we need to stop accepting inefficiency. We need to start building AI that works. And as well, we need to join the movement of building the trusting layers for AI. And that's it, I think, from my side. If you want to connect, you can connect with me in Telegram, LinkedIn, or if you want to explore more about DigNow, this is the QR code for Linktree. And that's it from my side. And now I'm open to questions if there are any.